The stars outside Trade Station Laris 7 blinked like dying fireflies. Captain Elias Voss didn't care. He wasn't a man for poetry. He preferred facts, clean deals, and no surprises. But today was full of surprises. His cum buzzed. "Captain Voss," said a polite but nervous voice. "A royal envoy from the Ellerin Dominion requests your presence in Hall C-17. They asked for you by name." Elias paused, mid-drink. "Did you say Ellerin?" "Yes, sir." He sighed, placed the metal cup down, and wiped his mouth with the back of his glove. "I thought the Ellerin didn't like humans." "They don't," the voice replied. "But this one says it's personal." Elias walked through the station's metal corridors, his boots echoing with each step. Scars on his leg ached. With every movement, memory from the First Contact Wars when humans and Ellerin tried to wipe each other off the galactic map. Hall C-17 was quiet. Guards stood at the doors, Ellerin soldiers in silver armor, their faces hidden behind sleek helms. They scanned Elias, but didn't stop him. Inside, the air smelled faintly of flowers. Expensive ones. A figure waited under the dome light. Tall, graceful, wearing a flowing robe of dark blue with golden lines that shimmered like stars. Her eyes were a strange shade violet, with tiny rings of silver. Her skin glowed faintly. "With a soft green hue, Captain Elias Voss," she said, her voice calm and clear. "Do you remember me?" Elias stared. "Should I?" "I am Princess Ilaria of the Ellerin Dominion," she said. "That's a name with weight," Elias replied. "But no, Princess, I've never met you." She tilted her head slightly. "You saved me once. During the siege of Calyon, you carried me from the ruins of the royal bunker. You were injured, bleeding. You told me to live a better life." Elias frowned. "That mission was over 20 years ago." He was there, yes, he remembered. Fire, smoke, and chaos. But no princess, no child. "I don't remember saving anyone that day," he said, cautious. "And if I did, it wasn't personal. It was just war." "But it was personal to me," she said softly. He took a step closer. "You're sure it was me?" "Yes." She held out a small cube, glowing faintly. A hologram flickered to life. It showed a human soldier, helmet cracked, carrying a small alien child wrapped in cloths. His face, his armor, his voice. "No more killing, little one. Live better than we did." Elias felt the air leave his lungs. It was him. But he had never seen this footage. No camera crews were on Calyon. "How do you have this?" he asked the Ellerin. "Found it in the debris years later. I never forgot your face." He looked away. "That man died. I barely made it off-world. My ship was hit during re-entry." She nodded. "Yes. According to Ellerin records, you died." Elias laughed, but it was hollow. "Well, as you can see, I didn't. But we believe you did," she said. "What return may not be." "The same, man." The air grew colder. "What does that mean?" he asked sharply. She stepped forward. "My people have discovered something strange in your DNA. Something we call time scars. You have them. Only people exposed to chronowarp anomalies carry them." "I've never time traveled," Elias said, "but your body has, or a version of it." He shook his head. "Princess, are you saying I'm some kind of copy, not just a copy?" she said. An echo. The term hit him like a hammer. He'd heard rumors Project Echo, Black Ops stuff whispered in the shadows of Earth's darkest halls. Clones made from near-death soldiers, captured in their final moments and pulled back with illegal tech, not memories, not reboots, replicas. Brought back for wars the originals didn't survive? Elias stared at his own hands, remembered everything, pain, loss, battles, friendships. Was it real? Why now? How tell me this? 'Cause you deserve the truth, and because others will come for you. The door slid open. Second figure entered General Catel of the Dominion Guard, tall and imposing, his armor humming with power. Not friendly. You must come with us, Elias Voss. Cattell said. Ellerin-law, you are an illegal construct, created during time-space warfare. A living war crime. Elias reached for the pistol on his belt, but Cattell raised a hand. Please, don't. Larry stepped between them. He is not our enemy. He's not your memory either, Cattell replied. He's a human weapon. Rebuilt for war? Silence filled the chamber. Elias looked at the princess. You brought me here for this. No, she said. I brought you here because I remember what you did. And because I believe you're more than what they say? He exhaled slowly. So what happens now? She walked toward him. Now, you come with us. Not as a prisoner, as a guest. We go to the old battle site, the ruins of Callion. There are answers buried there, and I think you deserve to see them. And if I don't come, Elias asked, then others will come looking, she said. And they won't ask. Outside the hall, the stars still blinked, cold, distant, watching. Elias looked at the cube in his hand the moment caught in light. His face, her face. Past he didn't remember, but couldn't deny. All right, princess, he said at last. Let's dig up the past. The Ellerin royal ship, Starseeker, drifted silently through the void. Its design was unlike anything built by humans. The long silver body shimmered like water, and the engines made no sound. It felt more like a living creature than a machine, Captain. Elias Voss stood near one of the viewing windows. He watched the stars pass by. His reflection stared back, older, rougher, and more confused than ever. Princess Ilari stood behind him. She had changed out of her royal robe and now wore a simpler uniform, though it still looked far too clean for someone who claimed to understand war. You look troubled, she said. Elias didn't turn around. I'm still thinking about what? You told me that you might not be the original Elias Voss? She asked. He nodded. Do you believe it? I don't know what to believe. I have the same memories, same body, same scars. But if I died back on Callion and this version of me was brought back, then who am I? She walked beside him, her gaze soft. You are the man who saved me. Whether you're the first or the second. Does it matter? It matters to me. Later, Elias sat in a quiet room on the ship, looking at the data files Ilari had given him. Inside were classified reports, stolen or leaked. He wasn't sure. All of them pointed to one thing. Project Echo. It had been a top-secret Earth program. They used unstable time technology to pull soldiers from the edge of death, only fragments. Of them could be saved mind, memories, and DNA just enough to rebuild them in new bodies. The goal was simple. Create perfect, Elul fighters, who didn't know they had already died. According to the file, Elias had been one of the first. A knock at the door. General Cattell entered. His expression was cold, but calm. We arrive at Callion in 3 hours, he said. I came to give you this. He handed Elias a device, a small silver implant shaped like a coin. What is it? Elias asked. A memory anchor, Cattell replied. If we find anything disturbing, this will stabilize your mind. You think I'm going to break? Cattell narrowed his eyes. You're not a man, Captain. You're a recording wearing flesh. A ghost with a heartbeat. Something activates the wrong memory, you could lose control. Elias smiled bitterly. Ellerin sure know how to make a guy feel welcome. The planet Callion came into view from orbit. It looked like a dead world. The sky was red, the land covered in black ash. Old scars from war still marked the surface craters, broken cities, twisted metal. Starseeker descended near the ruins of an old Ellerin royal bunker. This was where Ilari said she had been saved. Maybe where the real truth waited? Elias stepped onto the ground. His boots sank slightly into the ash. The air was thin, but the Ellerin had given him a breathing device. I don't like this, Cattell muttered as they walked. Why? Elias asked. Because the past never stays. Buried. Inside the bunker, it was dark and silent. Only the sound of their footsteps and the low hum of their equipment filled the halls. Dust floated in the air like ghosts. Ilari led the way. She moved slowly, her eyes scanning the walls, as if remembering every step. "This was once my home," she said. "I lived here with my father during the war." Until the bombing started. They reached a large chamber at the end of the hall. The walls were scorched, the floor cracked. In the middle was a blackened metal chair, melted from the heat. "This is where I saw you," she whispered. Elias stared at the spot suddenly. Something flickered in his mind. A flash of heat, screams, gunfire, a child crying. His hands burned, trembling, picking her up. "Don't cry. Don't be like us." The building shaking. Pain. Darkness. Elias fell to his knees, grabbing his head. Captain Ilari rushed to him. I remember," he gasped. "I was dying. I was holding you, and the ceiling came down. Everything went black." Cattell activated the memory anchor. The coin-like device hummed against Elias's skin. Slowly the pain faded. The visions cleared. Elias stood up again, sweating. "That was real, yes," Ilari said. "You died here, but now you're alive again, somehow." Further into the bunker, they found something else. A hidden room sealed behind a wall. Cattell broke it open with a plasma cutter. Inside, they discovered something shocking. A human data core part of Earth's Black Ops systems. It was half buried under debris, still blinking weakly. "This should not be here," Cattell growled. "This is your technology." Ilari looked at Elias. "It proves your people were experimenting on this planet during the war." Elias stepped forward and activated the core. A hologram appeared. A human scientist spoke. "Subject Voss, Elias. Recovered at moment of death. DNA and neural. Mapping complete. Preparing echo sequence. Earth Command wants him ready for deep cover insertion." The recording ended. No one spoke for a long moment. "So it's true," Elias said softly. "I died here, and Earth made a copy." Cattell raised his weapon. "You are proof of a war crime." "Put that down," Ilari snapped. "He's a weapon, not a man." Elias didn't move. "Maybe I am both." Cattell hesitated, then lowered his gun. That night, back on the Starseeker, Elias sat alone. Everything had changed. He was not the real Elias. Or maybe he was, in some way. His memories were real. His emotions were real. But he had been used. Created for a mission. For war. Now that mission was long over, and he was left with questions no one could answer. Ilari joined him. "I'm sorry," she said. "For what? For dragging you into this?" Elias looked at her. "You didn't drag me. I came because something inside me wanted to know the truth, and now." He looked out the window at the dead planet below. "Now I want to know why Earth lied, and if there are others like me." She nodded. "Then we will find out. Together." He smiled faintly. "Still trust me, even if I'm not really me." She held up the holocube again. The image of young Ilari and the dying soldier glowed softly. "You were kind to me when no one else was," she said. "You didn't have to be. That matters more than how you were made." As the ship prepared to leave Callion, Elias stood once more by the window. A part of him still felt hollow. But another part, deep inside, burned brighter than before. He had been made for war. But now he had a choice. And this time, he would choose his own path. The Starseeker moved quietly through deep space. Far from the busy trade routes, far from patrol ships, far from help, Captain Elias Voss stood in the control room, arms crossed. His face was calm, but his mind was full of fire. He had learned the truth. He was not the original Elias. He was an echo, a copy, pulled from the edge of death by a secret human project. He had died saving a child and been reborn without knowing it. That child, Princess Ilari, now stood beside him, her long hair tied back, her eyes watching the stars. They were on their way to a lost planet called Ravenine, once home to a human. Black Ops research base. If there were more secrets about Project Echo, they would be there. "We're close," said Cattell, stepping into the room. His silver armor looked darker in the low lights. No patrols detected. No COMM signals. Either the base may be abandoned or hiding, Elias said. Cattell nodded slowly. Ilari looked at both men. Whatever we find, we face it together. The Starseeker entered Ravenine's orbit. The planet was dead. No plants, no oceans, only dust, rock, and broken mountains. It had once been a mining world. Now it was quiet, forgotten. Below, in a deep crater, sat the remains of a hidden Earth facility. Most of it was underground. The top looked like a collapsed bunker with signs of old battle damage. Elias, Ilari, Cattell, and 2 guards boarded a small shuttle. As they flew down, the sky turned red from dust clouds. "I don't like this place," one guard said. "No. One should," Elias replied. They landed on a flat surface near the ruins. Wind howled around them, dry and sharp. The air wasn't toxic, but it wasn't safe either. They wore helmets with light filters. Elias led the way. His boots crunched on the cracked ground. The entrance to the base was covered with rock and metal. But hidden under a panel, they found a fingerprint scanner still active after all these years. Elias placed his hand on it. The door beeped once, then slid open. A cold wind escaped from inside. "Let's go," he said. The base was dark. The walls were covered in dust. Old lights flickered. Signs in English marked the halls, "Authorized personnel only. Project Echo, Level 3. Live testing without command approval," Cattell growled. "This place stinks of secrets." Ilari looked around with calm eyes. "Then it's the right place." They moved deeper into the base. The power systems were weak, but Elias found a working control panel. He connected his datapad and began to download files. Suddenly, a message flashed across the screen. "Echo unit active. Awake." Elias froze. "What does that mean?" Cattell raised his weapon. "It means we're not alone." The group moved carefully now, down the dark halls, past old labs, past rooms filled with broken equipment. Then they reached a wide chamber, doors half open. Inside, lights flickered to life, and someone stood there. A human. Same height, same face, same eyes. Another Elias, but this one looked ... wrong. His armor was torn, his skin pale, his eyes wild, and filled with hate. Well, the other Elias said with a twisted smile. "It took you long enough." Ilari stepped back. "Who are you?" He laughed. "I'm the first Echo, the one they threw away when they made him." He pointed at the real Elias. "I'm not a ghost," he growled. "The one who remembered everything. The one who knew what they did to us." Elias stepped forward. "What happened to you?" "I woke up here," the broken Echo said. "Alone, abandoned, no mission, no purpose, just memories and pain. I tried to leave. They locked me in. So I broke the base, killed the crew. Then I waited." Cattell aimed his weapon. "We should destroy him." "No," Ilari said. "Let him speak." The broken Echo's eyes burned. "I've seen the truth. Earth used us, lied to us, left us behind. Now I will burn them all." Alarms suddenly blared. Doors slammed shut behind them. "You brought this on yourselves," the broken Echo said. "I was waiting for a ship. Now I have one." He vanished into the shadows. The lights flickered out. "Trap," Cattell shouted. "Back to the shuttle." Elias ordered, but the way was sealed from hidden doors in the walls. Machines came crawling out, metal drones with red eyes and spinning blades. Elias drew his pistol and fired. One drone exploded. Cattell slashed another with his energy blade. Eli dodged behind cover, returning fire with her blaster. "Keep moving," Elias shouted. They pushed through the chaos, fighting their way down a side tunnel. A map on Elias's pad showed a maintenance exit, possibly still open. But the broken Echo spoke through the speakers now. "You're just like me," he said to Elias. "Same body, same pain, same lies. Why fight me? Because I didn't." "Give up," Elias shouted. They reached a locked door. Elias hacked it quickly, opened to a cold tunnel leading upward. The shuttle was close, but more drones were waiting. One guard was killed, the other badly wounded. Cattell dragged him to safety. Ilari laid cover fire. Elias turned and faced the hallway. The broken Echo stepped out, holding a human rifle. "You could join me," he said. "We could take revenge. Burn the ones who made us. Earth, Ellerin, everyone." Elias shook his head. "You already lost." He raised his pistol and fired. The bullet hit the broken Echo in the chest. He fell to his knees, laughing as blood poured. From his mouth, "You think killing me ends it?" he whispered. "There are more Echoes, like us, hidden, sleeping." Elias looked into his eyes. "Then I'll find them, and make sure they don't become like you." The broken Echo collapsed. They reached the shuttle and took off quickly, leaving the burning base behind. Inside, no one spoke for a long time. Elias sat in silence. He had just killed a man with his own face. He had seen what he could have become, but he had chosen a different path. Ilari sat beside him. He made the right choice. Elias nodded slowly. He was angry, broken, but not wrong. "There are others?" Cattell asked. Elias looked out at the stars. "If there are, to find them before someone else does." Ilari placed a hand on his shoulder. "You won't be alone." The Starseeker glided through the black sea of stars, silent and swift. Inside, the air felt heavier than usual. Captain Elias Voss sat alone in his quarters, staring at his reflection in a polished piece of steel. He saw his face scarred, tired, but familiar. The problem was, someone else had worn that face too. That broken Echo he had faced on Ravenine was a mirror of his worst fears. That version of himself had turned violent, hateful, and mad. Left alone, used like a tool, forgotten. And now Elias knew the truth. There could be more Echoes out there, hidden, sleeping, waiting. He couldn't ignore it. A knock at the door pulled him from his thoughts. "Come in," said Princess Ilari stepped in. She looked calm, but her eyes held worry. "You haven't eaten," she said softly. "Not hungry. You're always hungry," she said with a small smile, trying to lighten the mood. Elias looked at her and sighed. "How many more of me are out there, Ilari?" "We don't know," she admitted. "But what matters is this you is here. Right now. We're not like the others." "But I could be," he said. "What if one day I lose control too?" Ilari stepped closer. "You saved me once, then you saved me again. You're not him, Elias. You still have a choice." A few hours later, the Starseeker's main screen lit up. Cattell entered the control room, holding a small data crystal. "We received this transmission," he said, "from a hidden listening post near the Nebula Verge. It's encrypted in old human military code." Elias stepped forward.
What kind of message?
Cattell plugged in the crystal. The screen showed broken static. Then words appeared. "Unit Echo-7. Status. Awaken location. Station 1 to B. Vale sector mission incomplete. Requesting primary directives." Elar gasped. "It's another one of you." Elars read the coordinates. "That station was shut down years ago. Or a Black Ops lab near a pirate zone." Cattell folded his arms. "Too dangerous to send a full fleet. Too risky." "Going," Elias said firmly. "We'll go," Ilari corrected. Together, they approached the Vale sector carefully. The area was filled with debris fields, abandoned satellites, and old war wreckage. The stars here were dim, hidden by cosmic dust. Station 12B floated like a broken tooth in space. Its metal walls were covered in scars. Many parts looked damaged or offline. The Starseeker stopped at a safe distance. Elias, Ilari, and Cattell prepared to board in a smaller stealth shuttle. As they entered the docking port, Elias felt something strange, a pressure in his mind, like someone whispering just out of reach. Inside the station, all was quiet. No lights, no movement. Just the hum of life support systems running on low power. Ilari activated her scanner. The signal came from the lower deck lab section. They moved slowly through dark halls. Old posters still hung on the walls. Trust in unity, sacrifice for Earth. Elias stared at them. "This place gives me bad memories." As they reached the lab, the doors opened automatically. Inside, the room glowed with soft blue. Lights. Screens flickered. And in the center stood a sleep pod. Inside it was another man. Same face. Same body. Another echo. This one looked calm, peaceful. His eyes were closed. Ilari approached a console. He's stable. Cryosleep. Name tag reads Eco-7. Created 3 years before your file. Cattell narrowed his eyes. He's still asleep? Just then, the pod hissed. The echo inside opened his eyes. Everyone stepped back. Elias raised his weapon, but the other Elias Aka-7 made no move to attack. He blinked slowly, looking around. Then he saw Elias. "You're me," he said, his voice low. "Yes," Elias answered. "I'm Ika-9. You sent a transmission." Ika-7 touched his head, frowning. "I don't remember doing that." Ilari scanned him. "Sir, transmitter inside his neural chip. It activated on a timer." "A trap?" Cattell asked suddenly. Alarms blared. The station shook. "Unknown ship approaching." Ilari shouted, checking her tablet. "Fast. Military design. Earth markings." Ilias cursed. They followed the signal. They want to erase the evidence. But the station's power failed completely. Red emergency lights flickered. Elias grabbed Ika-7's arm. "We need to move." They ran through dark hallways as the Earth ship latched onto the station. A mechanical voice echoed through the halls. "This station is under Earth military control. Surrender unauthorized personnel." Cattell fired his blaster at the speaker. "They're not here to arrest us," Elias agreed. "They're here to kill us." They made it to the shuttle, babe. Earth soldiers were already there. Black armor, no names, no faces. A firefight broke out. Ilari ducked behind cover. Cattell charged forward with his energy blade, cutting through 2 soldiers. Elias and Eco-7 fought back to back, firing together. It was strange, like fighting beside a twin, but this twin was calm, focused. "Who trained you?" Elias asked. "Same people as you," Eco-7 replied. "But I escaped before they wiped my memories." Elias frowned. "You remember everything?" "Yes, and I know where. The rest of us are." They made it to the shuttle and launched quickly, escaping just before the Earth ship fired on the station. The blast destroyed it. Completely no evidence left behind, back on the Starseeker. Eco-7 sat quietly, drinking water. "I sent the signal," he finally said, "on purpose. I wanted to find you. I couldn't reach anyone else." "How many more echoes?" Elias asked. "At least 5, Eco-7 replied. "Most are hidden to Perth, scattered us across different systems. Some are loyal, some are broken." Ilari looked at Elias. "What now?" He stared at the stars. "I find them," he said. "Bring them back. I tell them the truth. Before Earth uses them again, or they destroy themselves." Eco-7 nodded. "You're not like me, or the broken one. You're stronger." Elias smiled faintly. "Not stronger. Just lucky I had someone who believed in me." He looked at Ilari. That night, Elias stood alone on the observation deck. Stars drifted outside like sparks in black water. So many lives, so many faces, and out there, more like him. Living weapons. Forgotten soldiers. Ghosts of a war long over. He didn't know what he would find, but he knew one thing: he had a purpose now. Not a mission given to him. It's by Earth, a mission he chose. To protect, to rebuild, to help the Echoes find peace, even if he never did. The Galactic Concord was made up of over 100 alien species, most of them older and more advanced than humans. Earth had just joined. Many species didn't even think humans belonged there. But rules were rules, and the Concord needed fresh blood. Lieutenant Kai Mercer didn't care much about politics. He was a linguist, trained to understand alien cultures and languages. He spoke 5 human languages fluently and had studied more than a dozen alien dialects. Now, for the first time in his life, he was being sent to a royal diplomatic summit on the alien planet Varelia. Varelia was home to the Varelian Stall, graceful crystal-skinned beings known for their psychic abilities and strict traditions. They were one of the founding species of the Concord and considered themselves guardians of order. Varelians rarely smiled. They rarely even blinked. To them, emotions were dangerous. Emotions were chaotic. To humans, emotions were everything. Kai arrived at the palace in a stiff black uniform, the collar too tight and the fabric itching at his neck. He stood among diplomats, ambassadors, and warriors from dozens of worlds. He tried to look confident, but his eyes kept wandering to the huge glowing walls, its floating orbs of light, and the Varelians' shimmering faces. Then he saw her. The princess, Aurelia, daughter of the High Speaker of Varelia, stood at the center of the room, calm and silent, surrounded by guards and nobles. Her eyes were unlike anything Kai had ever seen, not just beautiful, but alive. They shimmered, like galaxies, swirling with color and light. Kai didn't mean to stare, but he couldn't help it. "Don't get any ideas," whispered Ambassador Riel, an older diplomat standing beside him. "They don't take kindly to humans acting." Human Kai nodded quickly. "Sorry, sir." The summit began with formal greetings, long speeches in soft alien tones, and slow ritual movements. Kai watched as leaders from different planets bowed or exchanged symbols. He tried to follow the meaning, but Varelian custom was complicated. When it was Earth's turn, Ambassador Riel stepped forward and gave a short speech. Then Kai was introduced as the cultural liaison. "You may speak only if spoken to," Riel reminded him quietly. "And whatever you do, do not compliment anyone." Why not? Compliments are considered intimate contact in their culture, like touching skin or kissing. Kai swallowed hard. Got it. The rest of the summit passed. Slowly. Kai listened carefully, took notes, and kept his mouth shut. Later during the banquet, Kai wandered to a quieter corner of the massive hall. He was tired and dizzy. Varelian food was strange cold and glowing in. The drink had a sharp metallic taste. Then, as if drawn by fate, Princess Aurelia walked toward him. She was alone, no guards, no advisors. It's just her tall, glowing form, walking with soft, soundless steps. Kai stood straighter, unsure if he should bow or salute. Before he could decide, she stopped in front of him. "You are the human linguist," she said. Her voice like music played through water. Double quotes, "Yes, Your Highness," Kai said, clearing his throat. "Lieutenant Kai Mercer." She tilted her head. "Slightly. Your species is very expressive." Yeah, I guess we are," Kai said, scratching the back of his neck. "Some say too much." She looked at him closely, not judging, just studying. "Why do you show emotion so freely?" Kai hesitated. "I think it's how we connect. When we smile, or laugh, or cry, it tells others that we care, that we're alive, you know?" "I do not know," Rulia said honestly. "We are taught to control the self. Emotion creates ripples. Ripples disrupt order." Kai nodded. "Yeah, that makes sense. But sometimes disruption isn't a bad thing." Blinked. Once. Slowly. Silence stretched between them. And then, without thinking, without any plan, Kai said, "Your eyes are beautiful." The words left his mouth before he could stop them. The entire room seemed to pause. Princess Aurelia's expression did not change, but her glowing eyes flickered, swirling faster like a storm building beneath the surface. Her aura pulsed with color pink and blue and gold. "You do not understand what you have just said," she whispered. Kai's heart dropped. I didn't mean to offend." "You did not offend," she said. Then she turned around and walked away. The next morning, Kai sat in a cold metal chair, facing a very angry Ambassador Riel. "Do you realize what you've done?" Riel snapped. "I just said her eyes were beautiful," Kai said, confused and a little tired. "It was a compliment." Riel rubbed his forehead. "Exactly. A Varelian compliment is not just words. It's like a mind touch. It's an emotional imprint. You basically whispered in her soul." Kai blinked. "Oh, she's the heir to the Varelian throne," Riel said. "You're lucky she didn't have you arrested." Kai slumped in his chair. "I didn't mean it like that. Her eyes were different. I was being honest." Riel sighed. "That's what makes humans dangerous. or too honest. Too raw? That scares them. Kai was told to avoid the princess for the rest of the summit. No contact, no eye contact, no communication of any kind. He followed orders. For 3 days, he stayed in the background, worked silently, and avoided trouble. But Princess Auralia? She kept watching him, not openly, not obviously. But he could feel it. Sometimes he caught a glimpse of her out of the corner of his eye, her gaze following him. Other times he saw her alone, staring at nothing, lost in thought. On the final night of the summit, as the guests were preparing to leave, Kai found a small envelope on his pillow. Inside was a note, written in perfect English, in delicate, curved handwriting. You are different. I wish to understand why. Meet me in the starlight chamber, midnight. Akai's heart skipped a beat. He looked out the window at the alien sky. And he knew this was not over. It was only just beginning.